All right, guys, give me a one if you guys can hear me. Give me a one if you guys can hear me. And if the sound's coming in good. This was kind of off the cuff, unprepared. It's kind of an emergency situation. I'm sorry for the orientation of the phone. I'm doing this off my cell phone, and like I said, bear with me. So, Sound the Alarm is the title of this live stream. Got something big going down here in Schertz, Texas. Schertz, Texas. Schertz, Texas. It's a little town, much like Leon Valley, about the same size. And they are right in my backyard, literally miles away, just a few miles. And historically, since I've been doing this, they've done pretty good. Good department, good officers, good chief. But let me tell you what's also happened historically. This guy from Leon Valley, anybody know his name? Anybody know his name? He's all over my lawsuit. He got hired by Converse Police Department, which is basically part of Schertz. You have Cibolo, Schertz, and Converse all right together. They back each other up. It's not uncommon to see all of them on the same scene. So even though they have different names, they're basically the same department. Well, anyway, yeah, so no, not Salvaggio, his little Hispanic underdog, lapdog, the assistant chief. I forget his name. Villanueva or something like that. You guys can Google. I'm going to go on right now. Converse police chief resigned. You can Google that, and you can see that it's his picture comes up. That's him right there. His name is Ruben Saucedo. Ruben Saucedo. That guy right there, Ruben Saucedo. If you guys remember on the raid video when they raided my house, he was one of the cocksuckers that were in my house. So anyway, he went over to Converse, right? And he only lasted there a few months because Converse has historically been a great department. And the story is, from the sources that I have, is that they were not going to put up with his tyrannical ways that he was bringing over from Leon Valley. So it was just a matter of time. His days were numbered. I called that a long time ago. His days were numbered. They weren't going to put up with it. And officially, though, he resigned for personal reasons. So he'll probably be back at Leon Valley heading off the tyrants now that the doctor's out. Anyway, so let's get back to what happened in Schertz. Somebody has posted a link. I think Cindy has posted a link to the story, and also News Now 702 is helping out, has posted a link to the contact information for the Schertz Police Department, asking that nobody call that police department. Do not call that police department and tell them or ask them any questions, or tell them how you feel about the video that you should have already watched. There's a video out. It's on the news stations here. There should be a link to that video where Schertz basically whooped the shit out of some kid. And, well, he's not a kid. He's an adult. But nevertheless, look, by all accounts, the kid was breaking the law. Okay? He ran a red light. Yes. Ran a red light. A ticketable offense is how this started. However, he did not stop when the police wanted him to stop. And he continued to drive, and at that point, if you don't stop and you flee in a vehicle, you are committing a felony in Texas, felony evading with a vehicle. So now they're in pursuit of him for felony evading a vehicle. He pulls into his mom and dad's house, which was a block or two down. Presumably, I'm thinking that he thought that he was safe at that point and could get into his mom and dad's house and hide behind his mom and dad. And, you know, how they raised him is a totally different topic. We're talking about the use of force that the police used on this kid or this guy. So, you know, you'll see in the video that when he got out, he was told he was under arrest. He put his hands up momentarily. Then he made the stupid decision of running from the police on foot from the driveway to the front door. The door was locked. He bangs on it, screams for his dad. The officers deployed a taser, shot it at him. It was ineffective. Now, something you're going to get out of my little live stream here is you're going to get a perspective from a law enforcement officer. No, I no longer work in law enforcement, but I am just as knowledgeable about the inner workings of a situation like this. The do's and don'ts and things that civilians just don't know. No matter how many times you watch the video, you'll never know these things. And the police depend on you not to know these things. Because there's two things that are kryptonite to a cover-up. Transparency and knowledge. When the police try to cover something up, a person with knowledge is kryptonite to them. With knowledge of what happened and why it happened. And being transparent creates knowledge, and that is kryptonite to a cover-up. So, of course, they don't want to comment. You know, they don't want to say nothing. Pending investigation. So anyway, you're going to see in the video, they deployed the taser. It was ineffective. They start wrestling with the guy. Now, personally, I think at this point, they had a legit arrest, and they were using appropriate force to effect that arrest. This person wasn't trying to hurt the officers, but nonetheless was resisting the officers. And there's policies and procedures. There's a thing called use of force continuum that governs how the police officers respond with force. And at this point, whether you like it or not, the officer's level of force was appropriate according to the use of force continuum. So, no problem at that point. But when the suspect gives up or begins to give up, yeah, that can be debated. You really can't see what's going on with the suspect, but you can't see him violently resisting. One of the officers turns into, I don't know if she thought she was roping a calf. Like on rodeos, you see the cowboys run up and they jump off the horse and they grab the steer by its horns and they flip it down and they get up and they get a rope and they tie it around 3 feet and they throw their hands up in the air. I don't know if that's what she was thinking. This is Texas. She might be a roping expert. But she starts just kicking the shit out of this kid. Kicking him. So let me tell you about kicks. Let me tell you about law enforcement and police using their legs to kick someone. Stupid on all kinds of levels. Number one, I've been through all kinds of police training in defensive tactics, ground fighting, self-defense, how to defend yourself when you're pepper sprayed with your own pepper spray, how to defend yourself when somebody takes your taser, how to survive. I've been through survival training and all this other stuff. I practiced a little taekwondo. And naturally, I learned in the 7th grade, just naturally, I was blessed with the gift of fighting. And so I'm pretty good at it. The police do not teach kicking, as you're going to see in this video. They don't teach that. They teach hand strikes. They teach pressure point pain compliance. They teach intermediate weapons. They teach body, joint, arm, joint manipulation. And that's part of pain compliance. They do not teach kicking. I was never taught once how to do a combat type of offensive kick. And so it's not taught by the police departments. It's not sanctioned. So when the city of when the city of Schertz comes out and says that no policies were violated, well, let me tell you that kick, no policy was followed regarding the kick. Okay, no policy was followed regarding the kick. Schertz does not teach its officers how to kick suspects. Number one. Number two, anybody who knows anything about fighting and that's any good at it knows this. And I will tell you, I don't care how good of a fighter you are. I don't care if you could probably whoop my butt in a fist fight or a street fight. The minute you take a leg and bring it off the ground to kick me and you don't have the skill needed to deliver that particular kick, in other words, you haven't been trained in it and you don't have the skill to deliver it, I will put you on your ass every time. You're literally fighting me standing on one foot because you're not delivering a kick. If you were skilled in it, you'd be delivering a kick and you might be effective. But if you're not skilled in delivering a kick, as soon as your foot comes off that ground, your ass is going on the ground. Every single time. Because you're not skilled in delivering that kick, I'll see it coming a mile away. And you'll be literally standing on one foot. So that's just why kicks aren't taught. They're ineffective and they put you at a serious disadvantage. Unless you are, you're black belt and that kick you've been doing your whole life and you got the skill to deliver it. And if anybody knows or anybody is skilled in delivering a kick, you know that it's not like you see in the movies. You just don't walk up and kick somebody and they get knocked out. You have to have the skill. You have to have the opportunity to deliver that kick. And in most combat fight, let's get it on type situations, you don't have that opportunity before it's all over for one of you. So anyway, the point is the kick is not sanctioned by the police department. It's not taught by the police department. It is outside of policy. It is stupid and it is excessive because she delivered multiple kicks. Now that I've explained the kick that you're going to see or that you've already saw, let me talk about the most disgusting part of the entire situation. The officer kicking the person on the ground and the officers that were helping, and then I think there was one officer that was too scared to get involved. The door opens, and it's the parents. The parents see their kid or their family member being beat up by the cops. Maybe they weren't being beat up by the cops, but the cops were beating that ass. And what does a family member do when they see the cops whooping their family member's ass? They say something, right? They say something. Stop, stop, stop. They may even cuss them out if they're me, right? So they speak. Okay, first of all, let's just put aside the fact that we have a right to speak to the police and criticize them when we perceive them to be screwing up. Okay, let's put that aside. These people were standing in their home. They didn't call the police there. They didn't want the police there. They were in their home, standing in their home, looking at the police and criticizing the police about what they were doing. And the police officer responded. Now, sit down for this. Sit down for this one. This is the most disgusting part. The police officer, in a response to these citizens who were standing in their own home and criticizing the police officer who was delivering the kick says, or one of the police officers says, if you don't relax, you're going to get it too, or you're going to get it next. I promise you, you're going to get it next if you don't relax. They're standing in their own home, and if they don't relax, they're going to get it too. Now, what is it? Well, they're tackling on top of. Now, we don't know if there's any knees on any necks yet because we couldn't see that in the video, but we're going to find out. But The officers are on top of this guy, beating him, kicking him, tasing him. That's the it. So basically, these people open up their door, see something, sees what they think the police is doing wrong. They call them out on it, and they get told that if they don't relax, they're going to get beat, tased, and kicked. Pisses me off. Ooh, it makes me mad. So, do not under any circumstance call the Schertz Police Department and, if you're just as upset. Now, if you want to call them and give them a compliment, I mean, I suppose you could do that. I mean, they're not going to get mad about that. But do not call them. Do not call Flood. Do not call them, and do not, don't cuss at them. Don't demean them. Don't disrespect them. Just don't call them at all. Don't call them at all. Instead, I would encourage you to sign up at their council meeting so that way you can speak for 3 minutes next Tuesday about this situation. Yes. You will get a whole 3 minutes to say what you got to say. As long as, and it's next Tuesday, you'll get 3 minutes, a whole 3 minutes. We're talking 180 seconds according to GEG Jack math. 180 seconds to express yourself, as long as you are polite, no cussing. I think you got to have a smile on your face. You might have to wear a tie, but you got 180 seconds. Don't call them. Just go to the council meeting and try to speak there. I mean, you may not be able to speak because you're not a resident, or if your last name is Pulliam, you might not be able to speak, or if your last name is Miller, they might kick you out of there and try to trespass warn you. Okay, guys, I put a little bit of comedy in there, a little smart-ass remarks, but do not call them at all. Please do not call them. Look at the video. Make your own decision about what you see. Yes, the kid was breaking the law. As far as I'm concerned, if you run a red light, pull over. Just fucking pull over. Just pull over. So he was caught with a little weed in his car. Oh, you can best believe when they get done with their investigation, they're going to say he was caught with marijuana with a capital M. Multiple leaves is what they're going to say. We all know how that goes, right? When the police fuck up, when the police do something wrong, if you got a joint, well, that was a half of a joint with a bunch of little bitty leaves in it. And we know that happens. So anyway, yeah, he had some marijuana in his car. Maybe that's why he ran. We don't know. We haven't talked to the kid yet. But look, if you have weed in your car and you get pulled over by the police, that weed in his car was a misdemeanor amount that probably he would not have went to jail for. So had he educated himself, he would have known that he's not going to go to jail for that marijuana here in Bexar County. Now, and if he did, he's going to get out in a few hours. But he took off in a vehicle and he turned it into a felony. That's just stupid. Lights come on, whether you're wrong or right, unless you just have a death wish, just stop. Stop, turn on your camera, film everything. Don't run from the police, and certainly, I mean, come on, man, don't run. Don't run. If the cops are screaming you're under arrest and they got their guns and tasers pointed at you, I don't think running away at that point is very smart. I just really don't. Do what you want to do, but I'm not coming to the defense of this kid. I don't know all the details about him, what kind of person he, is he a criminal? Is he a criminal? Reports are coming out that had a law enforcement contact prior, and that he was arrested or charged or something with possession of a controlled substance and organized crime. I don't know all the details to that. Of course, the police are going to definitely let everybody know about the person's criminal history because they're going to automatically go on the smear campaign when they're trying to cover up what they've done wrong. We all know this, okay? We all know this. But regardless of how much of a shitbag this guy was, the police cannot beat up shitbags either. The police cannot kill shitbags. They can't execute shitbags. They can't beat up shitbags. They can't mistreat shitbags, use excessive force against shitbags. They can't. The day we allow them to carry out instant street justice on a shitbag is the day that you will never be able to cry when they carry instant street justice out on you wrongly. They can't be allowed to do that ever, ever. So I called the Schertz Police Department and asked a question, very simple question. Are the officers on the streets still? Because the Schertz Police Department put out a public statement. And basically the public statement says, screw transparency, we ain't answering shit because we're investigating our officers right now. That's all it said. Oh, it said they hold their officers to the highest of standards. And if they find any wrongdoing, they're going to take action and they're going to provide the appropriate discipline. They ain't saying shit. You got questions, you lowly citizen? Well, you're just going to have to wait till next Tuesday. We'll give you 3 minutes to talk to us, and then we won't give you any information because we might still be investigating. If I were the police chief, it would take me about 1 minute to investigate because that's how long that video was. It don't take a monkey could look at that video, turn around and say, I want those officers, make them take some vacation, but they're not coming back and putting on our uniform until our investigation is complete. Because I saw at least one officer kick the shit out of somebody, and I never trained them to do that. And then that whole thing about y'all threatening those people, if they don't relax, they're going to get the same thing. No, all 3 of those officers need to go home. I'll pay them. I'll even pay them time and a half. But they're not coming back out on my streets with my citizens thinking they can do that. And then what we'll do is we'll do an investigation because that's what the rules require. And then we'll issue the discipline. And for the officer that threatened those law-abiding citizens in their home, we'll fire that one. We'll fire him. The other 2 officers, they're going to be suspended for 90 days with no pay. And if they so choose to rejoin this department, then they're going to go back through the police academy, get the whole police academy again, the whole 900 hours or whatever it is, and then and only then will they be allowed to come back into my office and take a 1,000 question test on various things like the rights of citizens, the Constitution, rules, policies, procedures, and law here at Schertz in Texas. And if they pass with a 100%, then we'll allow them to come back. Basically, all of them will be fired. But anyway, maybe I'm a little harsh, but that's exactly... The point is they would not be out on the street. And I would have immediately told dispatch, hey, if anybody calls, you let them know, just like the public statement says, we are investigating. We have removed the officers from the streets for the safety of everyone, the citizens and the officers, and they will not return until this whole situation is resolved, either with a clearing of the officers or disciplinary action served. So anyway, these officers, as far as I know, they do not have civil service protection. They are at-will employees. They don't have contracts. I'm going to go ahead and demand and put out a demand, and I think everybody else should too. Don't call them and tell them this, though. Do not do that. You go to city council, take your 3 minutes, and Let them know that, you want the officer that delivered those unauthorized, stupid, ignorant kicks fired, gone, bye. Not resign, fired for excessive use of force. And the officer that threatened those people that they were going to get it, at a minimum should be fired, possibly brought up on charges of terroristic threat. Because in Texas, if you threaten somebody and you place somebody in fear of bodily injury, by way of saying you're going to get it, you're going to get tased, kicked, and beat. If you don't relax, that's what I'm going to do to you. If you do that, that is called terroristic threats. And that officer had no justification to issue that threat to those people. That was a threat. If they didn't relax, that's what the officer said. If you don't relax. Not if you don't stop interfering, not if you don't stop threatening us, not if you don't stop engaging in criminal activity or engaging in suspicious activity, nothing. If you don't relax, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to hurt you if you don't relax. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what would happen if a cop came up all hyped up and I said, hey, if you don't relax, I'm going to tase you, beat you, and kick you. What do you think would happen to me? I'd be charged with terroristic threat. So anyway, going to be going out to Schertz. Guys, do not call Schertz. Do not call Schertz at the information. I wanted to make sure that we got the information, the contact information for Schertz put in the live stream, so that way you know exactly the numbers that I don't want you to call. Do not call those numbers. You can call anybody else you want. I don't care. It's a free country. You can call anybody else you want, but do not call those numbers. So I'm not looking at the comments, guys. I'm pretty hyped up. I'm not happy with what I saw. We can't let our law enforcement officers do this kind of stuff. I saw some comments. Their Facebook is getting lit up, and I saw some comment about one person was like, "Well, I'm going to wait until the investigation is done. I don't understand why you guys want to put their badge numbers and stuff out there when there's an investigation being done." And my response to that is, look. Stop crying. The days of being able to hide behind an investigation, the days of being non-transparent to the citizens and not accountable to citizens and hiding behind your bullshit is coming to an end. And we don't need electoral votes to get it done. It's just going to come to an end. The power of the camera. Power of the camera. Now, this type of stuff is nothing new. What you see in that video is nothing new. It's just getting exposed more, because pretty much everywhere the officers go, there's a camera. There's a camera. Pretty much. And hopefully one day it's there 100% of the time. Thank you guys for watching and joining. I'm going to head out. Got a lot of stuff to do. I'm going to find out if, these officers are still on the streets. If they're on the streets, the community is in danger, and those cops need cameras on them 24/7 until the police chief and or the city, somebody in that city, not just the police chief, the mayor, somebody in that city comes out and says enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate this in Schertz. And those cops can them. Bye. If I were police chief and you were a police officer and you pulled that shit, you would know. My police officers would know. Let me tell you what my police officers would have done right after that happened. They would have drove their patrol car back to the police department, parked it, gave the keys to the dispatcher. They would have went into one of the back offices. They would have stripped down, put on their civilian clothes, and leave their fucking uniform at my department. That's what they would do. They would know. That's what you do. Don't bother waiting for me to come and do it to you. You're going to do that. It'd be policy, and they would have to follow it. So anyway, but hey, man. So let me make this clear. I'm heading out to Schertz, Cibolo, Converse. Bear County just killed somebody. I don't know what the details of that was, but I do know that they killed someone here in his garage. Apparently, he was armed legally, and Bear County had came there on a civil standby, a peaceful civil standby. That's where maybe the wife is getting some stuff out of the house or the husband's getting some stuff out of the house. And according to the sheriffs, when deputies arrived, the situation escalated. You fill in the blanks. We're still watching that situation, but anyway, I'm gonna be out there in those jurisdictions and keeping the camera on these police officers while they're out there working on their calls, on their traffic stops. If they decide to go back to their police there with our cameras on and pointed in their direction, and keep them on camera until we know the citizens of Schertz are safe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Cibolo or Selma or Converse, but I will let you guys know something. We have noticed, I say we, I say me and SAXC Prez and Steve from PMP News, Mark Rios from San Anto 210, Desert Goat, which is Henry. Where this is our area. We're in left a shit in Converse law enforcement that Converse, Schertz, Cibolo, all of y'all have started. Let me tell you what's happened in the past month. Clearly retaliatory traffic stop because someone was filming them, which has never happened. The other night, I'm filming them violating a law and violating a city policy. And when I ask them why they're doing it, they flat out lie to the camera, not realizing that I had been there filming them 20 minutes prior to them knowing that I was filming them. So they thought they covered up their lie. So they're starting to lie, and they're starting to do retaliatory traffic stops here in the Cibolo, Schertz, Selma, Converse area. And this is a message to all you police chiefs of these departments. I've been very fair with you guys. Very fair. Universal City. Same thing. I've been very fair with you guys. And you little bad cops, I don't know what it is. Do you think it's us, y'all against us now? Are you getting tired? Getting tired of the insults being yelled at you? Are you tired of the citizens making your job hard? So now you're going to start. Man, if that's the case, it happened, but put it off with. Man, I was just getting into something good. Can y'all give me a 1 if y'all can still hear me? I'm seeing. Give me a 1 if you guys can hear me. Oh, let's see here. Give me a 1 if y'all can hear me. Give me 1 if y'all can hear me. Oh, my internet. What did my internet went down? What the hell? Fuck, man. That's some bullshit. All right, give me a 1 if you guys can hear me. Give me a 1. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. All right, great. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what happened. Something with the connection. But anyway, I'm just going to leave. I get carried away because, this stuff really pisses me off straight from the heart. But This was a message. I was giving a message to the police chiefs of these departments, the bad officers there. If y'all think that this is a time for y'all to start retaliating and taking out your frustration on citizens that you don't like, go find another job, because we're not going to stop. And we're going to be around every corner you turn. And just like, ask the Schertz officers. They were out there jacking with somebody. Right? And they turned around and bam! There's two people there standing in the dark pointing cameras at them. Me and SAXC Perez. Yeah, get used to it. We're going to be around every corner. You want to stop off an alley and rub one off? We're going to catch you. You want to call somebody a racial slur? We're going to catch you. You want to beat on somebody? We're going to catch you. We're going to be behind that door. That's right, behind that car window. That we're going to be there. That's our agenda. We want to be there. We're going to be there. So if you're a bad cop, go somewhere else, man. We're going to catch you. And let me thank you in advance. If you're a bad cop and you're laughing at this right now and you're like, ha ha, fuck that dude. Screw that Jack Miller sheepdog, sheep shit guy. Thank you. I want to thank you in advance for the content. Because I want to make a lot of money off of your box of rocks. I'm going to make a lot of money off your stupidity. Thank you. I'm going to thank you in advance. I'm not paying you, though. To you police chiefs out there, Schertz, Cibolo, Selma, Converse, Universal City, y'all need to check your officers. You need to check them and reinstill the importance of community service and community policing. Reinstill that. Grab the bull by the horns. I know you can do that, and get it taken care of. In case you guys don't know, and this is police chiefs, city council people, let me just leave with one little thing. Leon Valley, the shit stain of Bexar County, they took it to the extreme. And we had elections here a couple of days ago, and guess what? 2 city council members gone, recalled. And that was mostly, in part, of a combined effort of citizens from all different walks of life coming together and seeing that they got removed from their chairs. And the city manager is next. And we're probably the mayor after that. Until law and order is reestablished in Leon Valley. Don't become the next Leon Valley. Don't become the next Leon Valley. Leon Valley got lucky. They got the heads up on me and got me trespass warned in a position that I couldn't do anything about it. Oh, they'll pay for that. I'll be compensated dearly for that, all that stuff. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the reality is they got the one up on me on that one. But I've learned a lot since then, and I've gotten smarter. And that's not going to happen again. And you're in my backyard. Leon Valley's 19 miles from me. Y'all are 2 miles from me. Shape up or ship out. Police chiefs, check your officers. Bad cops in these departments, go follow Ruben Salcedo back to Leon Valley. Dr. Catherine is a.k.a. Fantasy Blowjobs handle on her dating site is no longer there. So you'll have to hook up with her on the side somewhere unofficially. But nevertheless, you know, you got Ruben's there, Chief's there. I think he's wearing a suit or a dress now. Chief Savaccio. I mean, come on, man. As much money as that guy makes, can somebody help that guy learn how to tailor his suit? You see his pants? Jesus Christ. My suits look better than that. And I got a GED and I'm a Jack No Job Miller. So anyway, yeah. That's all I got to say, guys. Look at the video. Do not call Schertz. Do not call Cibolo. Do not call Bexar County Sheriffs. Do not call any of those folks. Be nice. Wait your turn. Wait your turn for the city council meeting and your 3 minutes of time. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for supporting. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you, News Now 702. For putting up the links, and if you're in the Schertz Cibolo area and you see us out there with cameras, give us a little honk, man. Give us. Yeah. So what I was saying, if you're out there in the Schertz Cibolo area, you see us out there filming tonight, give us a shout out, give us a honk. You stop by, we'd love to chat with you. But of course, if we see police, we're gonna have to drop you like a bad habit. So anyway, thank you guys.